Good morning. It has once again been a while. I apologise, but finding the motivation to pick up the camera doesn't always come to me that easily, people. I feel like during the off season as well, there's not that much to talk about. However, I want to keep up with these, document the progress. So today, day in the life, full day of eating. We've had a food increase. We've had a few changes since the last video. So I'm going to run you through the day, show you my meals, how I make them, why I like them like that, everything. And this isn't going to be boring, all right? I'm going to keep this entertaining because, listen, I watch other bodybuilders, full days of eating and days in the life. And within a couple of minutes, I'm like, bored, off. So this, I'm going to attempt not to make it one of those. Stay with me here. The time currently is 20 to 6. Meal 1 is about to go down. Then I've got a PT at 7. Then I've got something interesting to take you through before I train legs. Some other meals in between there. Check-ins, PTs, all that good stuff. Let's go. Before meal 1, we've got to get the morning sups ready. So we'll take you through these. Firstly, telmisartan, vitamin D3 and K2. And no, I'm not one of these people that puts all of my pills in a fucking box. I wish I was that organised. I mean, it's not that difficult to be that organised, is it? You just buy one of them and put them in the pill box every time you run out, but I just prefer doing it every morning and every night. Curcumin, JP, a multivitamin from Strom, magnesium, very essential one. A lot of people that train are deficient in magnesium. L-theanine, red yeast rice, that's for cholesterol. Pregnenolone, we're still going. Agmantine, which is for brain health. Proviron, this one is folic acid, I think. Lion's mane, and that's all the pills. We're still going. Next, the drink, glutathione. So these are all tubs now that come in a powder form. Also, I apologise about the thing on the door. It's very messy. Do you know what it is? It's t-shirts that I need to sell. So it's my reminder to me, because now I'm in the whammification tank. None of my fucking clothes fit me anymore. And this is the problem with buying expensive clothing or just gym clothing too frequently. It'll probably fit you for like 6-ish months, maybe a bit longer, and then you outgrow it. Your boy's up to size XXL now from Vanquish, and it's quite big on me, but I like that kind of fit. It's just comfortable to train in. I don't like tight fitting clothes. Nah. It's funny, isn't it? Because as you get bigger, you tend to wear less revealing clothes for your physique. I remember when I first got into the gym, I saw a little bit of muscle. I was like, yeah, tight t-shirts, fucking look at the guns, vest is out. And now I'm like, I would never really wear a vest in the gym. That's a lie. In the summer, I wear vests in the gym. But now, during the winter arc, it's not for me. Anyway, sorry, I'm waffling. MSN, which is for joint support. Join in, which is also joint support, because my joints are like glass. Electrolytes, Lipid Max, and the final one, of course, creatine. Did you know that this is the most researched supplement on the market? Everybody fucking says that. 2 scoops, 10 grams, because I'm fucking massive. That's it. Go to the kitchen now. Let's see if you can come with me. Come on, let's go. That'll probably be a smooth transition, so you didn't have to see my face up close. The beard needs trimming down as well. I don't know if any of you guys remember when I had my buzz cut. It is still buzzed, by the way. I'm just wearing a hat because it's quite cold at the moment. When I had a buzz cut, my beard shortly after that turned to black, and that's because I was taking something called MT2 or melanotan, which makes your facial hair go darker as well. And it also makes your skin darker. So you kind of take that alongside doing less sunbeds, and it helps increase your tan. It helps increase the melanin in your skin. And I stopped taking that, so my beard's gone back to ginger now, which is a shame, because I prefer a black beard. I actually asked Matt, my coach, what are the long-term implications of running melanotan MT2? And he was like, I don't know. There's no studies been done on it. We just don't know, can't say. So I was like, do I run it year round? But then that also means I'm gonna have to get back on the sunbeds, and I don't really want to. I like to give my skin a bit of a break during the winter months and then probably get back on it around summertime. So we're gonna rock the ginger beard and the buzz cut during winter, and then turn back into the tall, dark and handsome, lean person during the summer. Down the hatch. That's cold, wow. I always keep two big bottles of 2 litre water in the fridge, and I just fill this up out of the tap, but I prefer cold water. So interesting information, right? This is thrilling stuff already. I told you I'm not going to keep it boring. You just needed to know that I have cold water in the fridge. All right, full of beans this morning, me, considering it's 5:45. Let's see how my sleep was last night. So I've got an Oura ring, and it tells you your sleep data. Let's have a look, shall we? Sleep score 75. That's fucking terrible. What the fuck? So I was in bed for 9 hours and 11 minutes, but only slept for 7 hours and 46, which still is not bad. Like, considering most people are probably getting less than 7 hours really, or around about 7. But my deep sleep was low with 48 minutes. My restfulness was high. That's what it was. Because in the middle of the night last night, I woke up for a piss, standard, and there was this loud buzzing noise, like, I was like, what the fuck? So I came into the kitchen. I thought it was one of the electrical appliances, so I'm turning off everything. I'm like, what the fuck is that noise? Flicked off all the mains. At this point, I'm up for like 10 minutes trying to figure out what this is. And then the tap was dripping. So I just turned the tap on and off, and then the noise stopped. I was like, how is the tap making such a high pitched noise like that? It honestly sounded like an electrical device. So yeah, I'm blaming that. It also took me a good amount of time to actually fall asleep, apparently 38 minutes, which is not like me. I don't know why, but I feel well rested this morning. So this is what I say to clients, like, it's all well and good looking at the sleep data, but you've got to base it on how you feel. This morning I woke up, I did set an alarm, but I just woke up naturally when my body wanted to wake up, and I felt ready to get up and out of bed, you know, so that's a good sign for me that I've had a good night's sleep. So yeah, you don't want to put too much stock into what these gadgets are telling you. Now we're on to meal number 1, which requires these bags. Excuse me. And guess what? This is one of my favourite meals of the day. He says about every meal. But I've said it once, I'll say it again. If you want a meal plan that's easy to stick to and not veer off and not have temptation to go off plan that often, make your meals damn enjoyable. It doesn't have to be fucking boring. I eat the same 5 meals every day. I don't even have a non-training day meal plan. I eat the same food on my rest days because I love it. The one change I would make is I'd have a little bit of fish on my non-training day diet. Like, I'd replace a chicken meal with a salmon meal, but salmon's quite expensive, isn't it? I supplement with omega, so I guess that kind of counts. Anyway, firstly, 166 grams of 0% fat Greek yogurt. This one is very good from Lidl. Reason why it's 166 is because it's a third of this tub. You can get 2 different types of Greek yogurt. You can get one that's lower carb, higher protein, and that tends to be the thicker type. You know, like the Faye or Phage, however you fucking pronounce it. Similar tub, like it's basically the same as this, also a pink tub. And it tends to be a thicker yogurt. And then you get the runnier Greek yogurt, which tends to be higher carb, lower protein. So although that one is more expensive, it's thicker, it tastes better in my opinion, and it's higher in protein. So be wary of what type of yogurt you're getting. Next, we're going to add in 25 grams of cookie dough Perform Whey. Shout out to Lewis for giving me this tub, by the way. What a legend. And it served me well. It's a great flavour, especially with this combo. Next we add in 5 grams of cocoa powder. All of these bags you see here I get from Amazon, like the raw ingredients, right? Because it's probably better quality and it's a lot cheaper, because this whole bag, that's a kilo, and it did not cost me that much money. I can't tell you how much it cost, but you compare it to supermarkets and you save quite a bit. 5 grams of chia seeds, really healthy fat source and high in fiber. And like I said in the last video, a lot of people don't get enough fiber in their diet, so wherever you can add a bit more fiber in, you should probably do it. But there is a limit, of course, you don't want too much fiber. 5 grams of flax seeds, again, healthy fat source, high fiber. By the way, if you want a general guide, I would say, in terms of your fiber intake, aim for about 30 to 35 grams, and just see how much you can tolerate. I think with everything I eat, my fiber is probably around 40 to 50 grams per day, and that's a good amount for me. But yeah, fiber helps big time with digestion and in turn mood, frequency of stools as well, basically how often you shit, if you don't know what that means. And then we add in a little bit of pink salt, and to top it off, a dash of water just to help it mix up. And then the secret ingredient, Lidl's Finest granola. This one is dark chocolate and almond, and it's absolutely incredible. And the good thing about it is there's not like a crazy amount of ingredients in. I tried to get the majority of my diet from like single ingredient, whole foods, that sort of thing. And this has just got obviously like all the bits and bobs that make up the granola, like oat flakes, golden syrup, almonds, there's rapeseed oil in there, dark chocolate, cocoa butter. There's other like emulsifiers and stuff, which obviously is not ideal, but it tastes good, and it's pretty healthy across the board, isn't it? I was talking to a client about this the other day, actually, how like we try to limit a lot of the processed crap in our diet, but nowadays in supermarkets, I think it's almost impossible to get away from everything unless you prepare and cook all of your own food. And we just don't have the luxury for that because we don't live on a fucking farm. So I think it's better just to not get so obsessed about it. Doing the best you can, trying to limit the damage, you could say. But I think you're almost doing yourself a disservice if you're constantly stressing about, has this got too many ingredients in? Has it got any pesticides sprayed on the fruit and veg? It's like, oh, come on, man. Just relax. You'll be fine. And to top it off, 100 grams of frozen blueberries. Bosh. And now what we do, whack this in the microwave, which is turned off. Excellent. There we go. Whack it in for a minute, just to melt the blueberries a little bit. And then it's time to enjoy. And then with this meal, I also take 0.25 milligrams of BPC 157. So if you don't like needles, cover your eyes now, because this is going straight into my kneecap. Can you see me? I pulled my trousers down, by the way, look. Hey. So this goes into like the fatty deposit of the skin just above the kneecap. Okay, microwave, I'm coming. So BPC 157 is a peptide that can help repair tendons. And as you know, well, maybe not as you know, I've got tendinitis in both knees, which is not ideal. So I've been running that alongside TB 500 and doing a load of other shit to help with healing them. And then we also take 10 IUs of Lantus, which is a long-acting insulin. When your food gets to a certain level in the off season, you become less insulin sensitive, so you can have, or you can use insulin to help produce more, and as a result be more insulin sensitive. Here it is, people. It's absolutely gorgeous. Mix this all up, And you've basically got a dessert for your first meal of the day. Taste test. Like the crunch of the granola and the chocolate. I'm not even exaggerating, it's just so good. I don't actually know the calories. I mean, I could work it out, but I can't be asked. I'm guessing this roughly comes around to about 400 calories, maybe a bit more. So this is meal one. Coffee's going to be on the go next. Polished off. So good. This is an absolute essential part of the day. I feel lost if I don't have my morning coffee. And if you've been watching the videos recently, you'll know you've been using a drip cup, which is one of these. These are great, by the way. Makes so much, the coffee it makes is so much better than the pod machines, in my opinion. So you just get one of these, you add in a filter paper, put your coffee into the top. I've been using the Bohemia Roasts coffee. So if you live in St. Neots, go to the Cross Keys. Bohemia restaurant is there, and they've also got a coffee shop where they sell coffee, and they just do their own standard roast, and they'll grind the beans up for you, put it in the bag, and then you can obviously use it to make coffee, believe it or not. So I put 5 spoons in there, which is roughly 10 to 12 grams. And then you just pour a layer of boiling water, make sure it covers all of the coffee, and then you can hear that. It's basically just dripping through. Can't really see it, hold on. See that? Don't want to tilt it because it's always gonna fall over. That'd be a disaster. So you just wait for that to drip through. A few more rounds of boiling water. A little bit of a sweetener. This stevia bag from Amazon again is literally the best sweetener I've tried. So get this one. It's from NKD Living. Pretty cheap as well. 0 calories. Tooth friendly. Great for tea, coffee and baking. If you're struggling to get water in, by the way, just get yourself one of these bottles. A Yeti, a Stanley, something that keeps the water nice and cool and has a little flip up lid thing. A straw even. Makes it so much easier to get your water intake in, you know. When it's cold, you're gonna want it more, I guess. Well, I personally do. And I just keep that with me all the time. I take it to the gym, I take it into my office, and I'm just sipping on it throughout the day. Like, I'll get in 5-6 litres easy. It also means I'm pissing a lot, but it's needed. Hi, Bella. She's come out of her den. She sleeps on the bed with me now, so she just comes into here when she's ready. Hi, baby. You want to say hello to the camera? Come on, Fluffy. Where is she? Where is she? Where is she? Oh, oh, oh. She is. Here she is. She doesn't like being picked up. I never pick her up. Hi. Hi. My baby. It's just me and my little girl in this flat, and I love it. Honestly, I'm so lucky to have that dog. She's become a bit of a celebrity in the gym as well, because I take her in there with me for PTs. Well, when I've got like an hour PT, I take her in with me and tie her up by the front entrance, and everybody loves her. It's great. I mean, there's nothing better than seeing like a fluffy puppy that just wants to be loved first thing in the morning, is there? So I'll take her in with me later. I've got Jay in this morning at 7 for a PT. Next thing I need to do before we head out is prepare some veg. So we'll do that now. So this is the veg concoction I always have. A courgette, an aubergine, 2 tomatoes, 1 pepper, and 1 onion. I chop this all up. using the old trusty veg chopper, which is on its last legs. As you can see, this fucking massive crack here. It's quite funny because this will get filled up, and then as I'm doing it, there's just veg shooting out the side. So I probably need to get a new one soon, but I refuse to until this fully breaks. And then what I do is whack it into the air fryer, and then I'll put it into a separate container like this. Like this is a little bit left over. And then when I have my veg meals, which is 2 a day, I weigh out 200 grams from here. And it equates to about 4 times the amount that you get from that. So I don't know if that made sense, but if you divide that amount by 4, it's roughly 200 grams. And that's it. A little bit of seasoning in with the veg. Usually it's like paprika, Cajun, and garlic. And then yeah, just smack it in the air fryer. 16 to 18 minutes, max heat. Stir it halfway through. Done. You got some banging veg. Rather than having like the shitty frozen veg packs from supermarkets, it makes your meals taste shit, honestly. Like veg will make or break a meal. And I've had quite a lot of people message me saying that they've tried this veg concoction and they love it. So if you haven't tried it, fucking try it. Also, what I'm going to show you later is the veg market that's in St. Neots, because that's every Thursday and today is Thursday. So after I finish PTing with Jay, I'm going to venture into the market square, into the town centre. Luckily, I'm literally 5 minutes away from the town centre, so I'll just walk down, and they've got a farm stall there where they sell fresh fruit and veg, which is going to be better quality, and again, not sprayed with as many like pesticides as they do in the supermarkets to try and preserve them for longer. So that's where I get all my fruit and veg from for the week, other than pineapple, which they don't sell there. But yeah, if you're in St. Neots, Thursday mornings, I think they're there all day Thursday actually. Get yourself down to the market square, get some proper fruit and veg. All right, veg. This has all been chopped up and prepared. As you can see, the veg chopper does a very good job of putting it into little cubes like that. Now, seasoning wise, what I'll go for, like I said, is I have a big tub like this, which is made up of 3 different seasonings, and you can buy these big bags on Amazon. And this is so much more cost effective than buying the little ones from Tesco's, Lidl, supermarkets in general. So these are like Indian spices, because obviously they use a lot of seasonings and spices in their curries and stuff. So buy them in bulk almost. Cajun, garlic powder, and chorizo spice / smoked paprika. So I pour like a third of each into this big shaker, shake it all up, and then you've got combined all 3 together. So I either go with that seasoning, or if I want a bit of a change up, I have this one, which I've spoken about before, Bardia complete season. It's almost like a garlicky one. This is incredible. Goes really well with basically everything, like on eggs, chicken, beef, you name it, it goes on it. So yeah, today we're going to do this one. And actually I've got a little bit of Italian herb seasoning that needs using up, so I'm going to do a little dash of this on it as well. That'll get mixed up. And then if you've got a Ninja air fryer, max crisp for, I'll do about 10 minutes, stir it, and then another 6 to 8 minutes. Kind of depends on how much veg you're using. If it's less than this, then you won't need that much time. But because there's quite a lot of veg in here, it needs a bit more time to properly cook it. Just out on the morning walk with Bells after the PT with Jay. First kind I've ever had throw up in a session. Obviously we hit legs, and it was after Bulgarian split squats, believe it or not. But the poor guy, bless him, he's picked up smoking and he's trying to quit, right? So he's been having these tablets that every time he has a cigarette, they make him more nauseous. So I think he had a fag before, as well as one of these tablets, which made him more nauseous. And then when he got to the split squats, like, the guy trains hard, to be fair, and he's strong. And yeah, just threw up in the toilet. So first kind I've ever throw up. I think I've been close to coming to throwing up myself, and had clients a couple close to throwing up, but never actually happened. So I guess that's a milestone. I don't know whether that's an achievement or not. Either way, it's quite funny. I thought I'd mention it. So yeah, with this walk, we're going to the market square to get some fresh fruit and veg, which I'll show you in a bit. So here is everything they've got. Everything you could need, really. Fresh fruit. The bananas here are massive and incredible. Lovely.
Yes, you did. That's another one.
So as you can see, that marketplace is fucking great. Here's the veg that has been brewing. Stick that all in a Tupperware. Can hear Bella crying, she's waiting for her food. Look at her already. Bella, down. Break. Munching away. So yeah, here's all the veg. Oh, that fills up a whole Tupperware, and that'll last 2 and a bit days, probably. Now, all of the other veg I've just got, I've just paid 22 quid for all of this, and this will last me just over a week. So we've got tomatoes, more tomatoes, peppers, onions, courgettes, apples, kiwis, aubergine, avocado, and banana. All of that. Look at it. The colours. And that's what you want in your diet. Bloody colours. Micronutrients and shit, you know? It's good for you. So don't be skimping out on veg, people. It's very, very important. Anyway, meal 2 is going to get chefed up. Just look at this. You can't really see much, but here we have 2 fried eggs on top of 75 grams of jasmine rice, 150 grams of 5% lean beef mince, 200 grams of vegetables, that concoction that I told you about earlier, 50 grams of avocado, a little bit of soy sauce, a little bit of sweet chili, and guess what? It's one of my favorite meals. A little bit of bagel seasoning on top of the eggs. One of the egg yolks has cracked onto this, so we're going to get a bit of egg yolk, a bit of the egg white. Oh, it just makes me happy. Food makes me happy. Bit later for this meal today because I had to go to the market, so it's 10 to 9. Usually I'd have this at 8:30, and then we're going to crack on with some check-ins. Stay tuned. Forgot to mention, 1 apple. This is going in. So that is check-ins all wrapped up. And I tell you what, I love what I do. I absolutely fucking love what I do. I get to help people, not just with their physique, with their mindset, their lifestyle, and is this mic on? Yeah. It's very fulfilling and rewarding. And the more I get into this, the more I realize that so much of your ability to make progress and stick to a plan comes down to what goes on up there. So the psychology behind getting somebody to follow and stick to a plan is often a lot more important than just having a good plan. You know, you could have the best fucking plan on paper. You could be the most knowledgeable coach, but if you can't get somebody to follow what you're laying out, then it's worthless. So psychology is so important. And for the type of clients that I work with that are maybe more like intermediate, I do of course work with some more advanced clients, but I get a lot more like lifestyle type of clients, right? And they often need a lot more help with the mindset side of things. I think we all do, but people that have been doing this for longer don't maybe struggle as much with their mindset. They're able to, you know, be more consistent, and I think that just comes down to experience from doing it for longer. Anyway, enough waffling. It is now 11 o'clock, which means the next meal is going down, which is the pre-workout. And guess what? It's another favorite. Chicken and rice, sauerkraut, bit of cinnamon, bit of honey, bit of almond butter, pineapple. It's gonna be juicy. Are you ready for this? Also, I've mentioned this before, but if you have the facilities, pan fry your meals to heat them up. I was just talking to a client about this. He was like, yeah, I'm not really enjoying my meals. And I was like, right, send me pictures of your meals. Tell me how you're making them, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, throughout the week and stuff, I've been giving him some advice on how to make them more enjoyable. Because like I said earlier, if you enjoy what you eat, you're not gonna wanna veer away from the meal plan. You're not gonna wanna have that packet of biscuits or order a takeaway or go out for a lunch at the weekend. Whatever it is, make your meals tasty. It matters. Let's get into it. You ready for the sizzle? Oh yes. So in this meal we have 100 grams of jasmine rice. And recently, I've been adding in chicken stock. Why is the camera like that? Oh no, it's all good. Chicken stock. One of these. And I also use the leftover juices from the chicken when it's cooked in the air fryer. And guess what? It makes your rice taste like chicken. It's fucking great. Those chicken stock cubes are minimal in calories as well. But you can do the same with like beef stock, veg stock. So I usually cook 600 grams of rice at a time. And I'll add in one of those stocks and then like the leftover chicken juice from the air fryer if I've got any. So yeah, 100 grams of rice, 15 grams of almond butter, 30 grams of sauerkraut, which is basically just like fermented. I don't actually know if sauerkraut is its own thing or it's fermented cabbage. Someone clarify that for me in the comments, but I know that it's great for digestion, for gut health. Just fermented foods in general are pretty good for that. Bit of pink salt, bit of the goat's hot sauce, Frank's Red Hot. And then this is a bit of a weird addition, cinnamon, because I also add a little bit of honey in with this meal. I say a little bit, it's 25 grams, which has been upped recently. So yeah, they're the additions to the meal plan. It was an extra 50 grams of jasmine rice spread across 2 meals. So both my chicken meals are now 100 grams of jasmine rice, and honey has been upped from 15 to 25 in this meal. The honey that I buy is this one from Amazon, which is raw and unfiltered honey. It's literally just pure honey, like a lot of the other honeys you'll buy. I've got other crap added in, so yeah, this one, I think it's a bit more expensive, but it's very, very good. Or you can just buy like raw honey that's in a jar and solid, but I like this one because it's still drizzleable, if that's a word. There we go, it flipped around somehow. I don't know how I did that, but here it is. I don't eat all my meals out of glass Tupperware, by the way. It's because the beef that I had left over was in here in the fridge, and I was like, instead of using a plate, I'm just gonna use this. It saves me washing up at the end of the day. So this meal will go in about 2 hours before I train. You always train at 1 p.m. So it's 11:15 now, roughly-ish 2 hours. Gives it plenty of time to digest. So I'm not going into, especially a leg session, with food volume sitting in my stomach, bloating me. It's going to impact performance. And ultimately, my body hasn't digested the carbs from that meal to utilize it in the gym. So I don't get how people can, number one, drink a protein shake whilst you train. Like, what's the intention there? I've tried it before, but not knowing. It just sits in your fucking stomach. If you're able to do that and train fine, you ain't training hard enough, I'm sorry. Here it is. So good. I've had a lot of people reach out recently asking about food, meal plans, stuff like that. So I do offer one-off services to help you with training and meal plans. So if you'd like something like that, reach out to me on Instagram and I'll let you know how you can go about getting one of those. They're very cheap. to give you a rough price range, it's between 50 and 75 quid, okay? Anyway, this is going down, 150 grams of pineapple as well. The next part before I train is going to be interesting, so don't leave just yet. Hopefully it hasn't got too boring yet.
Ready?
Yep.
Just gotta breathe. Well, I'll tell you what, that shockwave therapy, it's not pleasant. So today he did it with my legs straight. Before they've always bent my leg and it's not been as bad. Like he told me, but before they had it on the machine on, I think he said like 2.2. I'm guessing it's out of 5 or whatever in terms of intensity. He had it on 1.2 today with my leg straight and it was fucking painful. I'm talking like 8 out of 10 pain. It literally feels like, I mean, he was hitting my kneecap a couple of times. I was like, brother, you're on my kneecap, bro. He was like, no, I'm underneath. I was like, okay, but you're like, okay. I'm pretty sure you hit my kneecap right now, but you do you. Anyway, my knees feel fantastic now, to be fair. Don't know whether it's the smartest thing to go and train legs now, but I'm not missing a session. I'm not pushing it back. I did try to reschedule it this morning, but they said because it's not within 24 hours, they would charge me still. And it's £76 a go. That's my 3rd session. I've got 1 more booked in next week. If my knees aren't fixed by then, I give up. I give up. I'm just gonna have to go to men's physique and not train legs. Anyway, I'm gonna show you how to make croats. That's right. Oats and cream of rice combined. So, for me, I have 75 grams of oats and 50 grams of cream of rice. So you start with your oats in a bowl. Now, in terms of the amount of water to add, I don't actually know the conversion. I just kind of eyeball it, but I'm gonna work it out for you. About that much. So that's 400. So if we do 400 divided by 75, so you're looking at about the quantity of oats times 5. Yeah, roughly. So take your quantity of oats, times it by 5, add that much water into the microwave for 3 to 4 minutes. And then you're gonna take it out, add your cream of rice, stir, using a whisk ideally, back in the microwave for 1.5 to 2 minutes, take it out, stir, and that's basically it, it's ready. I like to have mine cold, so I make it before, let it sit on the side for a bit. I add a layer of dark chocolate on top, which I'll show you in a second, and then put it in the fridge. Out of the microwave, look a little bit stodgy, cream of rice going in. At the moment I'm using the cookies and cream one, which is very nice. Whisk, give that a good mix. Back in for 1.5 minutes. Whilst that's going down, let's get the pre-workout stuff ready. So I just got this new pre-workout yesterday from Alpha Line, Superhuman Unicorn Juice. And used it for the first time yesterday, and it's a decent one, to be fair. It doesn't blow your head off, which is good. It's got 275 milligrams of caffeine in. Like the limit I would have is 300. Anything more than that, it just fucks you up, to be honest. Me anyway. And I just don't want that much caffeine this late in the day. Like even having caffeine at this point, and it's just coming up to 12:30, is probably still going to be having a little bit of an impact on my sleep. I have a fucking good session with this little setup I've got. So I have my pre-workout, the Stim Pre, 30 minutes before exercise 1. Then I have a non-Stim Pre, this is the one I'm using at the moment, paired with EAAs and 30 grams of maltodextrin, which is a carb powder, after exercise 1. Back to the croats. Fucking all over the place here, aren't we? So now it's gone to that consistency. As you can see, they're not fucking moving. So now from here, I would add a bit more water. You're probably talking like another 100 ml, just because I prefer my oats a little bit more runny. And then from here we go in with a bit of pink salt. And then this is where the magic happens. You ready for this bit? So 15 grams of dark chocolate. Spread it evenly across the top. And then I just get a tea towel, cover it to trap the heat inside, and I'll leave that for about 2 to 3 minutes. And what that's doing is obviously melting the dark chocolate. And then I get the back of a teaspoon, spread it around, and then when you put it in the fridge, there's like a hard layer of dark chocolate on top. And it's bloody gorgeous. Need a shaker. So as I mentioned, 1 scoop of non-stim, 1 scoop of EAAs, and like I mentioned, this will get downed in one go after exercise 1. And then I've got some, look how, I've got separate scales over here to weigh out the maltodextrin, which comes in this fucking huge bag here that I got from Amazon. I think this is like, how much? 5 kilos? I think it's 5 kilos worth. And I have 30 grams. So yeah, this is gonna last me a good chunk of time, that's for sure. Beautiful. See, I tried this unicorn piss one yesterday, and the flavour, it's not that great, I'll be honest. In terms of like pre's that have the best flavour, you can't beat Perform. The fizzy cola, oh, what's it called? Hold on. Fizzy bubblegum bottle. Best pre-workout I've ever tried. This one's just so sweet. It's got like, it just tastes like really bad sweets. It's not always about the taste, is it? You just get it down. As long as it's a good pre-workout, I don't really care that much. However, in saying that, I probably won't buy that one again now. So I guess in that sense, the taste does matter. For me, it does anyway. Let's show you the cream of rice, or croats. Look at that. Nicely melted. Grab a teaspoon. Can you see that? And there you have it. Nice layer of dark chocolate on top, and you get to lick the spoon. How immature. See this off. Bosh. All right. Time to get to the gym. Bit of rehab stuff to start with. Arm work. And then legs. It's hamstring dominant day today. What are you looking at, Bells? You look like a lost dog. She needs some water and a carrot before I leave. That's our tradition. I always cut her up a carrot before I leave. Place. Yes. She's a good girl. All right, so we're kicking off the leg session with the course arms because they are still shit. Seated cable go to start with. Just before I do this, when it comes to setting up a movement, figuring out where to set the cable on the bench, a good way to do it is just do the movement without any weight in your hands. So for me, where I naturally want to curl is like this. Now, if I wanted to, I can't get my arms back much further than this. So I also don't want the weight to carry me into a position I don't have available naturally. Just from a safety standpoint, here is where I stop naturally. So that's where I want to end the movement as well. The weight is gonna try and carry my upper arm back here, right? And it's just forcing my body into a position that I don't have available naturally, like I said. So stop there, curl up, just pivoting around that elbow joint. This is one Maya rep set, so 1 straight set, followed by 3 mini sets, timed by 5 breaths in between.
Touch it, watch it, turn it, touch it, watch it, turn it, turn it, watch it, touch it, watch it, turn it, watch it, touch it, watch it.
Just leaving 1 rep in the tank there. That's what I meant to do. Yeah, probably did have another one left in the tank, but gotta save it. Just means I can get more effective reps in these following sets now. 5 breaths. There we go again.
So it's at this point in the workout, after exercise 1, down this. So I've got carbs, protein from the EAs, and then non-stim. Next up, seated cable tricep extension. Absolutely love this attachment here. Connects to both cables either side. So usually, the issue that you'd run into if you were doing this sort of exercise is the cable's coming straight up here. So your face and head is getting in the way. Because the cable runs either side, I can keep the cable a lot closer to the body, and it just allows for a better elbow path. Feels a lot more comfortable. No elbow pain on this one as well, which is very good. I mean, in the sense that movements in the past that have really loaded and biased that lengthened position like this one does have caused me a bit of elbow pain in the past. So this is fantastic. Stable. You can lift a lot of weight, which means higher mechanical tension. It's a good one to include in your arsenal. Okay, on to the leg work. Single leg calf raise first. I do this with a slightly bent knee, which is a bit different to how I've done it in the past, but I found that it helps you get so much more range of motion, so much more stretch on the calf, and you're actually placing tension on the calf at that point. Can't lift as much weight, but the calf burn sensation is way higher, and that's just an indication for me that you are actually using that muscle to move the weight and nothing else. So 65 kilos, I'm dropping it down because last time I did 77.5 and I just didn't get a great connection with my calf. It's just progressing load too fast, and sometimes you just got to know when to pull it back, reset the lift, reset your form, and then run it up again. So you'll see here that, like I said, I'm holding a slight bend in the knee, and I'm just focusing on moving my heel up and down alone. That is it. I also do this without shoes on and use this mat just as a bit of cushioning under my foot. Oh yeah. Oh my God. So much better. Much better connection with the calf. Able to get a full contraction. That's why. Got the pattella seated ham up next. Relatively new machine at the gym, and it's a good bit of kit. I've not had a chance to use the new Gym 80 one yet, but I'm a big fan of this. I don't really want to swap it. So for me, I have the leg pad all the way up, giving the most amount of range of motion as possible. This leg pad gets clamped down as hard as it can against my quads. I position the backrest so that my knee is roughly in line with that joint center. I actually like it ever so slightly past, and I have this pad on setting number 3. Now, the key with this is getting your bum back in the seat, keeping your lower back in contact with the pad. I see way too many people when they use this. They explode down hard, their lower back rounds and their hips shoot forward. You're just using your glutes and lower back at that point. You want to keep tension on the hamstrings, so think nice tall spine, slightly lean forward. Keep your lower back in contact with that pad the whole time. You'll find that you won't be able to lift as much, but it's your hamstrings that are actually doing the work, not your glutes and lower back. So shuffle my bum back. Get this pad down hard. Ooh, yes. Is that 6 or 7? This is why I film majority of my sets, you know, because I get about halfway through and I'm like, fuck, what number am I on? Either way, it was a good set. I feel like it was a rep up. We'll find out. On to the big boy lifts. Stiff leg deadlift. Last time I did this weight for 8 reps. Goal today is to do the same weight, same reps or a rep up, and just tidy up the form because last time it got a little bit sloppy towards the end. So I just want to make, I think it was 7 reps look better. Yeah, I just want to make 8 reps look more tidy. So I'll be happy again with 8 here. The thing with the stiff leg is, if you let it get sloppy, it kind of turns into a bit more of a conventional deadlift or an RDL, where you're getting a bit too much bend at the knee, the hips drive back, and you're making it a bit more of a glute dominant movement. The goal with this is more hamstring, so I'm trying to keep my hips high and my legs straight. But so much of this comes down to your mindset going into it. Get like a big song on that triggers some emotion and just go to a place that allows you to just rip that weight off the floor. Oh fuck. Oh my god. That fucking writes you off. I think that was 6 or 7. So I rep down, but way better form. More control on the eccentric, hips higher. That's what I wanted. Okay, on to the quad work. 2 sets of hack squat, that is it. Partly because my quads are a strong body part, don't need as much volume, and also because whenever I load knee flexion, whether that's a leg extension or some sort of a squat variation, it pisses my knees off. So I can't just batter them. Got to be very careful with how much quad work I do because my tendons just can't recover. But I feel like the tendinitis is getting better with time. Shockwave therapy, BPC, TB, taking joining from JP, curcumin, all of the supplements, mobility work, flexibility, stretching, you name it, I'm doing it. Just got to be careful of the loading here. So this is the last warm up. And you'll see that my eccentrics are very, very controlled. Nice pause in the hole as well. And I'm not coming too low. All right, we're good to go.
And I'm always in come to show you so obvious. Is that a fan? Or is that what? Even when I'm moving on top. I'm ready. But I risk it anytime I see them. Flat and right, I'm pushing them, don't pull me off. 2 on 2, man. Go! If I see those, I'm putting it, I'm saying this set.
It's not bad. It's a rep up. The knees are aching. So frustrating. Legs wrapped up. Legs wrapped up. Gotta hold the mic. Fucked. Legs are absolutely blown. You know when you got minimal leg detail, you know it's been a good one. I'm quite lucky in the sense my legs just are quite a lean body part for me. But here's how we're looking. 94.4 or 5 kilos this morning, I think it was. And obviously this is the best it's ever looked. So road to 100 kilos. Let's do some rounds. I'm really struggling to pose right now. My legs are so pumped. That'll do it for today. That leg day absolutely ruins me, and my left knee is a bit fucked right now. I think what I'm gonna have to do is just run that leg session with no quad movements, or swap out the hack for something else, because every time I do it, no matter how light or whatever form I use, it just pisses my knee off. But in my head, I'm like, I've got to hit quads in that session as well. I feel like if I keep doing that though, they're just never gonna heal. Oh, it's frustrating, it's very frustrating. Hi Bella. Alexa, turn the light on. These lights, by the way, fantastic. Alexa, turn the light to red.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Alexa, turn the light to white.
Okay.
Yeah, you can buy them from Amazon. Literally just normal like screw-in ones. Connect it to your Alexa. Bosh. And gets to the point in that leg session where I start thinking about that post-workout bowl of croats, which we're gonna dig into now. So here it is. Out of the fridge, you can see the layer of dark chocolate on top, layer of banana. It's about 120 grams, one medium-sized banana, 150 grams of cherries, and then the whey paste, which is baklava flavor, which by the way doesn't taste like baklava. I wouldn't recommend it. It's this one from Perform. I think my top 3 Perform flavors are probably Chocotella, the Nutella one, lemon cheesecake, and you know what? Sweet and salty popcorn is up there as well. What else am I missing out? The s'mores one's very good as well. I'm trying to think what else that I've tried that's really good. They're the ones that come to mind, you know? Let me know in the comments, if you had one whey flavor for the rest of your life, what are you going for? Whey drip gets dribbles on. Gotta lick the bowl clean. And then to top this off, 15 grams of maple syrup. Just using this because it needs using up, which will swap to honey when this runs out, which it basically has now. And then a little dash of Lidl's finest cinnamon. Beautiful, beautiful. Right, come with me into the office. You know what, it's the little things in life, but this is one of the my favorite parts of the day. Sitting down after a heavy workout, you got that rush of endorphins, you feel good. Other than my knee, does not feel good. And you got a lovely post-workout meal, bit of YouTube, relax before cracking on with work and the rest of the day. Just look at that. Just look at that. It's absolutely spectacular. And the thing is, what baffles me is people still struggle with dieting when you get to eat this. Make your meals taste nice, and it won't ever feel like you're dieting. Beautiful. Wrap up of the session, quick debrief. Not bad. Like I said, my knee is pretty pissed off right now. Yeah, like straightening my left leg just hurts. Right knee's not too bad, it's my left one that's quite bad right now. So yeah, I just have to feed back to Matt, let him know what's going on, and like I said, we might just have to pull out that quad movement on the Thursday or swap it for something else. But other than that, it was good. I had to reset a couple of lifts like the SLDL. It was just getting a bit sloppy. I knew that the tension wasn't really on the hamstrings as much as it was in the past, so just use that as an opportunity to leave my ego at the door, reset the form, and then I'll build it back up to where it was with better form. And that's the goal at the end of the day. We're chasing a stimulus, not a load, not a number. It's about execution
and effort, those two things paired together, of course, you get a lot of satisfaction from seeing those numbers go up over time. But if it comes at the detriment of form, you're defeating the objective, right? If the goal is to build muscle. So every now and again, when you are increasing weight, week after week after week, your form does slip. It slips a little bit every week to the point where 5-6 weeks down the line, it's completely changed. And you just have to be honest with yourself at that point, scale it back a little bit and build it back up again. Or be a bit more conservative with your load increases. Instead of trying to add weight every single week, stay on the same weight, run it up to a certain number of reps maybe, and then increase load. And that's what you're forced to do with dumbbells, by the way. And that's why it's a good movement for a lot of people, like a chest press. The weight increases are quite large, like 2.5 to 2 kilos. So you have to stick on the same weight for a period of time before you can go up. Like for me, for instance, I've been doing a dumbbell chest press. I've just gotten to the 50s. I think I did 5. So now I'm going to stick on 50 until I get about 8 or 9 reps and then go up to the 52s and just take it nice and steady like that. But anyway, other than that, it was a good session. Good session. So at the moment, I'm watching, what am I watching? The Problem with Self-Help Gurus. And I wanted to talk about this actually, about the whole hustle culture. I'm going to come on to that a bit later, and I'm also going to discuss my current cycle and everything I'm taking, so stay tuned for that. Let's have a chat then. So, like I mentioned earlier, I wanted to have a discussion about something that's been going on in my head recently around the whole hustle culture, you could call it. How there's a lot of like I mentioned earlier with that YouTube video, self-help gurus that are saying you need to work harder, like non-stop, no sleep, push, graft, grind. And I feel like it leads you into this mindset that you could always be doing more. And I guess you can, right? But what's the cost of that? And what is that trying to get you towards? I guess we're all trying to work harder to earn ourselves more freedom, maybe more happiness. And I think that's the key word, happiness. We're all working towards building a life that gives us happiness. But what if you've already got a life that makes you extremely happy and fulfilled? And that's the position I feel like I'm in right now. I'm very, very grateful to be in the position I am right now. I love what I do. I wake up every single day full of gratitude, and I'm truly happy in life. That's not me bragging or anything. That's just me talking about my genuine feelings right now. And it's taken me a long time to get to this position. I've had to go through phases of not being happy and grafting, working my ass off, and I still do to this day, by the way, but it just doesn't feel like work, which I guess is a good thing, right? But I think when you go down the route of listening to like self-help podcasts, self-help books, you're led to believe that you always should be doing more and grafting hard and hustling. But I'm happy. I work hard. I've got a really good selection of clients. And let's say, right, I was to work even harder than I am now, bring in even more clients. That just brings about more stress for me. Yes, I make more money and have maybe an opportunity to be happier or have more freedom, but do I? Because by working harder, bringing in more clients, that also brings about more stress, less free time to myself, and maybe as a result, less happiness. So is it a fair trade-off? I think for me, I'm very content just going slow and steady and getting to that end destination, if there is even an end destination, whenever I get there. So there's no rush. That's my mindset, and I just wanted to kind of discuss that at the moment. I think the thing that opened my eyes to this and made me think about it was the book that I read called 4,000 Weeks. So if you've not read that and you're ready to have a real deep dive, then I recommend it. It's a bit of a hard read, to be honest. Like there was multiple times where I had to read it again and again, as in pages again and again, because it didn't truly sink in, but it was a very good read and very eye-opening as well. But positive, because it got me in the position now where, like I said, I'm truly happy and fulfilled. That's my waffle for today. I need to take Bed out for a walk now. And then I've got a PT at 4 p.m. Consult call later. And I think that's it for today. I'm actually allowing myself to have some downtime now as well. I've been watching the Everest documentary. If you've not watched it, it's pretty good. As you can tell, I'm pretty fucked right now. So I'm gonna leave this clip here. Back in for the final meal. It's currently 20 to 6. Usually have this meal around about 6 p.m. Good PT with old Lawrence today. Always like sessions with him. He's one of those clients he challenges me. He asks me really like in-depth detailed questions that get me thinking. And there's been times before where he's asked me a question, I'm like, mate, honestly, I don't know the answer to that. But I like those types of questions because I'll then go away and kind of study about it a little bit more and find out the answer for him. So yeah, it's always very interesting conversations with him. Last meal of the day is 200 grams of chicken breast, 200 grams of veg, 100 grams of jasmine rice, 15 grams of almond butter, and 1 kiwi, which apparently helps with sleep. So it's good to have a kiwi before bed. Whether that's true or not, I don't actually know. But I think I saw it on Instagram one day. So even if it gives me a placebo, I'll take it. Last one, good old chicken and rice, but made bloody delicious. As you can tell, I'm flagging at this point. Cheers. I have to keep checking to make sure that mic's on because I've done YouTube videos in the past. I've recorded a whole segment, realised the fucking mic's not on. If you wanted to know, it's delicious. Also got a kiwi in here. If you don't eat kiwis with the skin on, you're doing it wrong. So before I reveal my full cycle, which is, I know, a big reason why you came here for, I've got a consult call. So I'm gonna eat this, relax, reply to some clients, have that call, which will convert, mark my words, and then go through my cycle. Stay tuned. Very good call with, I'm not gonna say her name actually, she might wanna remain anonymous, but she has booked in a taster session for next week. So very promising. Also got 2 taster sessions lined up tomorrow. And yeah, the inquiries are coming in thick and fast. I'm very, very grateful for people that reach out and would like my help. That's all I want to do. I love helping people avoid the mistakes I made and just become better versions of themselves, which sounds cheesy as fuck, right? But it's true. So if you are interested in coaching, joining the team, being a better version of you, physically, mentally, improving all aspects of your life, there will be links down below to apply. You can literally apply, it takes 2 seconds, and then you can book in a free call. And even if you decide not to sign up off the back of the call, I'll give you some value in that call, whether it's what to do with your nutrition, your training, give you a bit of a roadmap on how to achieve the goals you've set. Absolutely fine. Like I said, I just want to be able to help people. Now, coming on to the part you've been waiting for, the drugs, the gear. I don't know if I should say that because YouTube might ban me. Well, I've said it now and I'm not bleeping it out. So we'll see what happens. First up, my cycle. The anabolics that I'm taking, split across 3 different compounds: testosterone at 200 milligrams per week, Mastron at 200 milligrams per week, and NPP, nandrolone, at 100 milligrams per week. So that's a 500 milligram total androgen load. I then take 25 milligrams of Proviron per day. These are the non-anabolics, by the way, so the things that, you know, long term aren't really going to have much of an impact on like overall health. So these are more things like peptides, things that help with blood pressure, insulin, that sort of thing. So Proviron, 25 milligrams a day, metformin, 500 milligrams a day, telmisartan, 40 milligrams a day, growth hormone, now up to 4 IUs, which I take pre-bed, L-carnitine, 500 milligrams per day. On a rest day, I take it fasted. Training day, I take it before training, along with MOTC, which is a peptide. I take that 5 milligrams pre-training as well, so only before training sessions. And then you got BPC 157 and TB 500, which are peptides that help with tendinitis. Don't seem to be fucking working right now though. And then finally, wrapping things up with Lantus, which I mentioned earlier, is a long-acting insulin. That's everything. So quite a few things, but it's eliciting a pretty fucking good level of result. Like, this is the most I've been growing in an off season ever. Before, I've been in an off season and it takes me like 2 to 3 months to see kind of, well, maybe it's a bit of an exaggeration, a month or two to see any kind of real change. But now, like, every 3 weeks I'm seeing myself just get bigger and bigger and bigger, and like conditions still holding pretty well. Like, I'm not getting that soft. So yeah, things are in a good spot right now. What else is there? My total food is at, where is it? 3,745, 240 protein, 65 fat, 550 carb. That's how much I'm eating every day. It just tastes the same. Steps are around like 10 to 13,000 per day. And then cardio is 20 minutes of HIIT and 20 minutes of HIIT and 20 minutes of LISS per week on rest days. That's it. That's the setup. 5-day split. Like I said in the last video, changed over to that. So that is what I'm doing to get absolutely fucking huge. The stack will actually be increasing quite soon. I think next check-in we're going up to 600 milligrams. Where is it? Just looking on my sheets here. Yeah, so I think it'll either be next week or the week after. I think it's next week actually. We're going up to 600 milligrams. So he's either going to, I'm guessing he's probably going to bump Mastron up to 300 milligrams per week. But there's a bit of a shortage of that at the moment. So I'm going to have to swap over to Mast P rather than Mast E. So that is everything, people. I'm going to love you and leave you. That's everything for today. I need to start getting ready for bed because it's 10 to 7. And if you know me, you know I like to go to bed nice and early. So start my bedtime routine, take my supplements, have a shower, do the washing up. I need to feed Bella. Fuck, I haven't actually fed her yet, poor dog. Got caught up on that call. And then yeah, hit the hay. So hope you've enjoyed this one. If you have, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.